Real reason that Trump won the election. I know we're a month past. I hope that your emotional state has gotten to the point where you can logistically and logically think of things. The reason Trump won is because he is kind of a clown. He is. If you think about, from my perspective, I want someone who doesn't feel so scripted. I don't want to hear someone who, they're reading off a teleprompter. Obviously when you do courses, you have YouTube people, you have a script. You should follow the script. And I think what really won it for Trump was that Joe Rogan podcast. Whether or not you like Joe Rogan, his policies or political views and and what he does, you can't disrespect and not honor the fact that he is a great interviewer, amazing interviewer. If there's a reason why we watch the political debates. You watch the political debates because they are entertaining, but you're not watching because you actually want to learn about the candidates. Like when Vance and Waltz were speaking at the vice president interview, it was interesting to see how they were actually speaking to one another. It wasn't anything crazy, like bombastic, like talking about their golf over under whatever it's called, golf handicaps. But it also wasn't so clownish like, I'm going to pander to your emotions. It was just straight up two dudes having a conversation. And the reason that Trump won, I think, is because when you watched him speak, it was never, you don't sit there like, oh my God, this moron. He says some stupid stuff. But he says stupid stuff and he is himself. But then you have Kamala who says stupid stuff and you know that someone out there wrote it. So you're in the back of your mind, you're like, this is seriously who you think is the best candidate? If you look at the Democrats, you had Andrew Yang, Tulsi Gabbard, you had RFK, and you went with Kamala Harris. Trump didn't win. The Democrats lost. And they lost because they couldn't put someone out who could speak well, who couldn't have a conversation, who couldn't just clearly articulate something without having to read it on a screen. And she's not even 80, 90-year-old Joe Biden. That's why it's sad. I'm not a fan of Trump. I don't hate Kamala. I don't know them. You can't say you hate Trump or Kamala. Because you don't know either of them. You can vote, but you can't say you hate someone without knowing who they are. But at the end of the day, I want you to take away this lesson. Think about how they speak. Trump won people over because he spoke from, this is what I believe. Kamala lost people because she didn't really stand for anything. She was just kind of like a puppet. So whenever you're having conversations, whenever you're speaking to anyone, whenever you're trying to have a conversation with someone of the opposite viewpoint, whenever you're trying to speak to yourself, do you actually believe what you're speaking? Do you actually believe in what you're saying? Because if you look at these candidates, neither of them were great, but one won by a landslide because they actually spoke up and people started to listen and say, hey, they're not wrong because they're not trying to pander to me. When you speak to people, when you speak to your wife, when you speak to your kids, when you speak to your friends, are you just trying to be a yes man? Because yeah, they'll like you for a minute. They'll be like, okay, you don't rock the boat. But they won't fight with you. They won't stand with you because you don't stand for anything because you just say yes to everything. What is something you're willing to say no to? What is something you're willing to speak up against? And if you can't do that because you don't have a personality, like Kamala doesn't have a personality, why do you expect things to be different? But that's why you're here. That's why you're listening to this. Why you're following me. That's why you read the Bible. That's why you do things in your life where you extract information to put it out in the world because you are a human being. You are a different person. You have the ability to take all this information and consolidate and do whatever you want with it. That is the beauty of life. That is what makes America great. That is what makes building America better, or whatever everyone's slogan is. You can make your life better because as you make your life better, you make your family's life better. As you make your family's life better, you make society around you better. As you make society around you better, your country's better, the world is better. So it starts with you. And it starts with you being real with yourself. You may be a clown, you may not be the smartest person, but are you real? Are you real to who you want to be? Whew. Freedom Friday, Friday Fire, whatever I want to call this. I'm just going to upload this because this is where I feel we're at in society. And I hope this gives you something to think about. Hope this gives you something to enjoy. And, comment. Let me know what you think. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. And if you're ready to be coached by someone with me with 11 plus years of mental health experience, having used biblical standards to guide men and women through their life, contact me. You know what all this stuff is. You're a smart person. You're a smart cookie. Have a great day. Happy Thanksgiving. And I hope everything worked out great for you and your family.